Star Queen Crew Log, Day 115 of our Earth-Venus injection orbit. Normally, the minimum crew of a long-distance spaceflight should consist of no less than 3 men. However, at the last moment, the Star Queen's regular captain had taken ill with no replacement. As the planet's orbits are disinclined to wait upon man in his affairs, the Board of Space Control allowed the flight of just the engineer and myself. We were more so the caretakers or janitors of this ship, hauling over $20 million of insured cargo along its predetermined course. Under our ion drive's current power, we'll reach Venus within 30 days.
What's the matter with you? You sick or something?
We're done for. Oxygen reserve's gone.
Come on, snap out of it.
A meteor. It tells us a ship this size will only get hit once every 100 years. We seem to have jumped the gun with 95 years left.
Surely the regenerator can keep the air breathable, right? I mean, even if it does get pretty thick.
I haven't looked at the details yet, but I know the answer.
The spacesuits, what about their tanks? We can just, No. Can't keep oxygen on them, just boil off in a few days. There's only enough compressed gas in there for about 30 minutes. That's just long enough to get you to the main tank during an emergency.
Let's stop guessing and just figure out exactly where we are.
All right, let's get the facts straight. Now, we've got the air that's still circulating in the ship. We lose about 10% of the oxygen every time it goes through the generator. Based on the amount of cubic meters we use a day, all possible economies, the oxygen will last us 20 days. That means we'd be 10 days out of Venus when...
If we can't figure it out, maybe someone at Venus can. We should talk to them.
I'm going to. Listen, go get the transmitter realigned, will you? Port Hesperus, this is Sigma 1216. 2045, in the incredibly unlikely event a meteor collided with the Star Queen. On board, the oxygen supply is no longer sufficient to last the engineer and I to Venus. Requesting emergency situational procedure for crew recovery.
Lloyds will transmit a detailed list of instructions of what to do with the insured cargo. Astronomers on Earth are calculating possible rescue orbits for eventual vehicle recovery. Sorry you fellas have wound up in this most unlikely of predicaments. The Star Queen has been all over news headlines. Know the inhabited worlds are sympathetic towards your situation. Sigma 1216, this is Port Hesperus. 2015, transmission concluded.
Well, what do you think of?
I can't do all these tests in one day. I mean, I get what they're driving at, but some of the questions are just plain crazy. Most of their queries are technological. They clearly don't care about us, just the cargo. We've already been ridden off.
McNeil, I've been checking the air pressure.
such a sourpuss. Take some yourself. What does it matter now?
You know, it doesn't help to act like a pig, even in these circumstances.
I'm willing to entertain any good argument against my course of action. My course of action being eminently sensible to me. But you better change my mind quickly while I'm still open to reason.
You know, aside from the fact that you're stealing company property, which is gonna get salvaged long before you or I do, you can't stay drunk for several weeks.
That remains to be seen.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Give me that. Not on my watch.
McNeil, as you know, Venus is 30 days away and the oxygen will last 2 men for 20 days. However, one man, and only one man, can potentially survive to Venus. 10 days from now, there will be enough oxygen for only one of us to complete the voyage. For 2 people to decide amicably which will commit suicide is not easy. I believe we can be perfectly fair about the situation. I would like to discuss this matter with you once you are sobered up. I'll make the coffee.
You made it perfectly for once. It's quite hot. I'm guessing you discovered that there's only enough air for one of us to get to Venus?
It occurred to me.
Now, wouldn't it be easier if maybe just one of us stepped out of the airlock or took some of that poison over there?
I suppose it would.
The only difficult thing would be deciding who would be the unfortunate one. Now, what I suggest we do is maybe play a card game. Something simple.
You're right. We have to talk it over after all.
Yes, we do have to. Where are you going? Thought we had business to discuss. Sit down. I thought better of you, Grant.
What are you talking about?
What do you mean, what am I talking about? This attempt of yours to poison me, of course. Just of casual interest, when did you decide to kill me?
It was only this morning.
By now, I should try and calm myself down and announce you to the authorities. But it would be a rather pointless thing to do, and I've really never been much good at losing my temper anyway.
What do you intend to do now?
I would like to carry on our discussion when it was so rudely interrupted by the coffee.
You don't mean...
Oh, I do. Just as if nothing had happened.
Doesn't make any sense. You've got something up your sleeve.
To repeat my earlier remarks, I am merely suggesting that we decide which one of us takes the poison and which one of us does not. Also, it will be the real thing this time. This here merely leaves a bad taste in my mouth.
You switched the poison.
I've deloused this place very thoroughly over the last few days. Thinking about ways you might kill me amused me greatly. But I nearly oversaw the danger signals when I took the first sip. Salt doesn't go at all well with coffee.
You're still willing to start all over again? And you'd take the poison this time if you lost?
Has it occurred to you that if only one of us survives, that we're going to have a very awkward conversation with the others?
I suppose so. All right, then. There's gotta be a pack of cards here somewhere.
I think we better speak to Venus first. Both of us. We don't want to have any awkward conversations after we go on the record.
There she is, 950 kilometers away.
I wonder what he's feeling like now.
Oh, I can tell you. He's so happy to be alive, he doesn't give a hoot about anything else.
Still, I wouldn't like to have to throw my shipment out into space so that I could get home.
Well, that's not the sort of thing that anyone would like to do. But you heard the broadcast, they talked it over calmly, and the loser went out of the airlock. It was the only sensible way.
McNeil, it is good to see you.
Then I pulled the higher card than Grant, so naturally I'm here.
So that's the whole story, is it?
Yes, that's all there was to it.
And I'm sure Grant took this all very calmly.
You heard the broadcast, didn't you? Wasn't that enough? Yes. Grant behaved himself very well. Very well indeed. Such a shame.